What if I told you that most millionaires don't budget the way you think they do? They're not tracking every coffee in an app. They're not even cutting coupons. In fact, the average millionaire spends more freely than the average middle-class American, yet somehow they end up with 10 times the net worth. So what's going on here? Is it luck? A higher income? Or is it a completely different way of thinking about money? One that most people never even learn? Because what if, and stay with me here, what if budgeting isn't about restriction at all? What if it's about control, time, and a quiet, almost invisible system that lets money serve you instead of the other way around? Today, we're going deep, not into spreadsheets, but into how millionaires actually budget, why most people's financial habits are upside down, and how a few simple shifts completely changed my life. Let us start with a truth that might sting. Traditional budgeting doesn't work for most people. Think about it. The standard advice is track your spending, make a plan, stick to it. But studies show that over 70% of people abandon their budgets within the first 3 months. It's not because we're lazy. It's because the system we were taught is reactive, not proactive. We try to control money after it's already been spent. Millionaires learned early that money isn't managed month to month. It's managed by systems, and those systems start long before you swipe your card. The roots of this thinking go back to some of the earliest financial minds, from Benjamin Franklin, who said, "Beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship," to modern thinkers like George S. Clason, author of The Richest Man in Babylon. Their core idea was simple. Wealth doesn't come from how much you earn. It comes from how much you keep and control. But here's where things get interesting and a little controversial. Because while Franklin and Clason focused on saving, today's self-made millionaires have evolved that idea into something far more strategic. They don't just save money, they assign it jobs. Here's the secret. Wealthy people don't budget in the traditional sense. They use allocation systems, predetermined rules that make decisions before emotions can interfere. Let me explain. Imagine you get paid $5,000 a month. Most people spend first, then try to save what's left. Maybe $200 if they're lucky. Millionaires flip that around. They pre-commit their money the moment it arrives. For example, 20% goes straight into investments. 10% goes into future opportunities or education. 50% covers lifestyle costs, housing, food, utilities. And the last 20%? That's flexible, guilt-free spending or giving. Notice something? There's no spreadsheet, no guilt, just rules. This approach is what psychologists call decision preloading. It removes the emotional friction of budgeting because the decisions are already made. And here's the twist. This system wasn't invented by modern millionaires. It traces back to the envelope system popularized during the Great Depression, when families would label physical envelopes, rent, groceries, savings, and literally divide their cash. Millionaires took that system and digitized it. Automatic transfers, index fund contributions, business reinvestment schedules. They made wealth automated. Once you start thinking like this, in systems, everything changes. Discipline becomes irrelevant because automation is discipline. You don't have to wake up every morning deciding whether to save. The system already decided for you. And this is the real difference between middle-class and millionaire thinking. Middle-class families budget to survive. Millionaires budget to scale. They treat every dollar as an employee. Each one has a role, a purpose, a performance metric. If it's not growing or serving a function, it's fired. And here's where I had my own turning point. A few years ago, I was tracking every coffee, every meal, every recurring subscription. It was exhausting. I was budgeting constantly, yet my savings barely moved. Then I read a quote by investor Naval Ravikant. If you can't automate it, you don't really control it. That line changed everything. I stopped tracking and started engineering. Every dollar I earned automatically split itself between goals, investments, emergencies, guilt-free spending. I never looked back. Within 6 months, I saved more than I had in 2 years of manual budgeting. But here's the part few people talk about. Even millionaires' systems can break. It happens when income scales faster than intention. Suddenly, the system you built for stability can't keep up with your new complexity. This is how high earners end up broke. Athletes, entertainers, even lottery winners. They never upgraded their financial infrastructure, only their lifestyle. And it's not just individuals. Whole societies fall into the same trap. In the 1920s, easy credit fueled the illusion of endless prosperity. People spent more, borrowed more, felt richer, until the system cracked in 1929. The same pattern repeated in 2008. Too much short-term spending, not enough long-term allocation. That's the breaking point, when we start mistaking access for wealth. After every financial collapse, whether personal or national, we try to fix it with the same tool: restriction. Spend less, cut the lattes, freeze your cards. But restriction doesn't fix bad systems. It just delays collapse. Because real wealth isn't built by saying no. It's built by learning where to say yes. When you tell your money what to do before emotion takes over, you remove the chaos that kills most financial plans. Yet, here's the tragedy. We don't teach this in schools. We learn trigonometry, not taxes. We learn literary symbolism, not how to automate savings. So every generation relearns the same hard lesson. Budgeting without a system is just willpower on a timer. Let's bring this to the present day. According to a 2024 Fidelity study, 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, even among those earning over $100,000 per year. Meanwhile, 80% of millionaires use automatic investing or allocation systems that run without manual input. That gap between manual and automatic money management is the real wealth divide. And it's not about greed, it's about leverage. Technology now gives us tools our grandparents could only dream of. Automatic transfers, real-time expense tracking, AI-driven investing. But only those who understand the principle that money is a system, not a struggle, will actually use them correctly. So when you hear someone say, "I'm bad with money," what they're really saying is, "I don't have a system yet." History repeats itself in cycles. Every generation discovers a new way to make money, and every generation forgets how to keep it. And it always comes back to the same paradox. Wealth feels like freedom, but it's actually structure. Millionaires don't get rich because they're freer. They get rich because they built rules that protect them from chaos. Budgeting isn't about control. It's about liberation through design. So let's simplify everything we've covered into 3 takeaways you can act on today. Takeaway number 1. Automate your intentions. Decide your percentages once and let automation enforce your discipline. Your emotions can't ruin what they never control. Takeaway number 2. Treat every dollar like an employee. If your money isn't growing, serving a purpose, or bringing joy, it's unemployed. Reassign it. And takeaway number 3. Upgrade your system before your lifestyle. When your income grows, your system should evolve first. Otherwise, you'll just build a bigger version of the same problem. Here's the warning. If you don't design a system for your money, someone else will. Every advertisement, every subscription, every impulse purchase, they all have systems. The question is, whose system wins? Theirs or yours? So if this video sparked something in you, don't just close the tab. Take 20 minutes today to map your automatic allocations. Make your first system, even if it's simple. Because wealth isn't a number. It's the peace of knowing that your money is finally working for you. If this helped, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a new financial system, not another spreadsheet.